Well, the subject of today's little rant is about David Hogg, the Nazi poster child. See, after the Parkland shooting, David Hogg's become the new front man or poster child for these leftist, gun grabbing, constitutional rights stealing, ignoramus movement, whatever you want to call them. David Hogg is billed as a Parkland survivor, and I, for one, am glad he survived. That's great. I wish everyone had survived. I wish there was no shooting down there in Parkland. It was a sick, twisted psycho who shot up the place, and law enforcement dropped the ball big time, like more than 39 times getting dispatched to the shooter's home and still not doing anything. And the FBI couldn't seem to do anything either. When he shoots up the school, law enforcement still cowered and didn't stop him. So what does David Hogg do? He blames the literally millions of law-abiding Americans who are NRA members, who believe the Second Amendment is their God-given right, and he blames them for the crime. He never once mentions that a sick individual, and I won't mention him by name, is actually the one who committed the crime. Never does he mention the breakdown of a system that does nothing to protect the people it's supposed to protect. After the shooting, David Hogg immediately seizes the opportunity to go on a political agenda to take guns away from law-abiding people. David Hogg uses the death of 17 of his fellow students for political convenience, and he posts a vulgar rant on YouTube, since taken down because even YouTube says it was bullying for people like me. You know what? I'm the face of the NRA. I'm the Second Amendment Foundation. I'm the Gun Owners of America. I'm GeorgiaCarry.org. I'm the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. Never mind that this guy can't seem to get his facts straight. No, Dana Lash isn't the CEO of the NRA, and no, the NRA doesn't sell guns. And honestly, psycho thugs like the shooter would never even bother to be in the NRA. And honestly, people like David Hogg, who hate me because I'm a gun owner, they need violence from time to time to push their fake promise. So what do you call people who use violence and death to push a political agenda? I think they're called terrorists. Well, David Hogg is actually just aiding and abetting terrorists, I guess, at least for now. His little YouTube rant doesn't exactly make him look reasonable or sane. He looks like he might have some of that psycho anger or something himself. Stopping gun violence. It all sounds so nice, doesn't it? You know, as a father of 6, I'd like to stop all violence. But when a guy who's wanted for 4 counts of first-degree murder tells your son, who's in law enforcement, that he's coming for him and the rest of his family if he ever gets out, you realize that having a gun saves lives, and the David Hoggs of the world are pushing a bunch of crap. And that is my true story of what happened to me and my son. The David Hoggs of the world overlook the real psycho people, and they want all 18-year-olds to be unable to buy a rifle. They already can't buy handguns even though they're legally adults. And tell you what, how about if we just say you have to be 21 for the age of legal consent? You know what that is. How about 21 before you can have a driver's license? How about 21 before you can sign any legal contract? How about 21 before you can vote? I mean, it's only common sense, right? We need to have a dialogue about how you have too many rights, right? So, is David Hogg the NRA's worst nightmare? Hardly. David Hogg is more like that leaking toilet that fills up randomly and it annoys you, but it can't hurt you. My worst nightmare is waking up in an America that's turned into an England or France where there's acid attacks and knife attacks that radicalized people can do with impunity, where even the police are powerless to stop shooters like the Paris terrorists, where police are taken out execution style like New York City, where gun control has created a new class of super criminal who roams the streets armed like they do in gun-controlled Chicago. I fear an America where we wake up to 17 or even 20 dead after a typical July weekend in Chicago. Chicago being a pretty good example of gun control in the United States, of course. And I could use New York, Maryland, California, or New Jersey. Hey, we didn't even have school shootings until Bill Clinton turned them into gun-free target zones. Now, I'm a dad. I've still got a family to protect and raise, and the David Hoggs, the Antifa Nazis, They're not going to intimidate me. I've got the truth on my side, and I don't negotiate away my safety with people like David Hogg and his fawning media fanatics. The millions, and I do mean literally millions of us Americans who own everything from handguns to AR-15s, AK-47s, Ruger Mini-14s, shotguns, everything else. If we were the problem, we'd make ourselves known, but we're not. The psycho, sociopaths, and liberals who want to use them as their tools to advance their utopian agenda are the existential threat to those of us who are freedom-loving Americans. We won't roll over and capitulate, and most of our law enforcement and military won't bow down to serve these left-wingers and self-titled progressives or their false promises either. If the liberal, gun-grabber, progressive people want to fight about it, then the fight won't stop until the liberals see how wrong they are. And they can have their own little crime-ridden hellholes to live in, but not here. As someone I know frequently says, be strong, be of good courage, God bless America, and long live the Republic.